Have you ever feel that you are drained every time that you watch pick a card reading, or maybe that you're asking for tarot? Maybe you don't have the money for a professional consultation, so you keep watching and binge watching cards after cards after cards in the hope that somehow your future is gonna change. But then at the end of the day, you find yourself always rewatching pretty much the same prediction, or always constantly eagerly waiting when you're gonna meet your soulmate, or when you're gonna have that future and that purpose that you really want. But then at the end of the day, you see your friends and other people moving on, and you're still wondering why those predictions didn't came true. Maybe they were too general, maybe they weren't for me, so let's watch another time and give it a chance. And you end up consuming so much time on YouTube watching these videos and not understanding why maybe your life is not improving. And in some cases, if your life is improving and the reading was accurate, then you absolutely need more, and you need more to the point where to do anything, you need to ask the cards. So if this is happening to you and you're resonating with this, well, maybe we need to discuss about tarot cards and pick a cards addiction, and what is the right way to use it, what is the best and most efficient way to use it for you, and how can you use it to create and empower yourself responsibly. This video is both dedicated to the audience and to the psychics giving this reading. So I'm going to divide this video in two. Let's talking about the audience, you in the first place. So if you're interested, I am Nia. Keep on watching. All right, you guys. So as you guys know, this channel was born doing tarot cards, because I have been doing tarot cards since I was 8 years old. I always offer them regardless, like even for free, until I actually became professional, and I do offer private readings. And I know very talented readers who outside of YouTube who do this job as a profession, and they're very responsible and they're very talented. But what I noticed, and the reason why I stopped doing pick-a cards on YouTube, is because it's becoming mainstream, which there is nothing wrong in and of itself, but I have noticed an unhealthy pattern that nobody is talking about it, which is bad habits and addiction. I have noticed that a lot of young people, but not necessarily even others, are becoming addicted to pick a cards and are becoming addicted to always have a prediction, to the point where they get to isolate themselves. They become very nasty, very mean as soon as you call anyone that is doing this thing out, or they just become really low vibrational instead of spending their time by reading, cultivating knowledge, empowering themselves, and knowing that everything that they watch really will result in some sort of manifestation without being overly controlling about it. But this is the reality of this reality. I have noticed that they always become so dependent to what the psychic is saying, to the point where they might end up manifesting the things that these psychics are saying. Not mentioning that a lot of these readings are really general. Therefore, they're not really custom made for you, the watcher. They are made to resonate with millions of people, and therefore they don't take in account your personal blueprint, your personal energy, what you're struggling and going through, and most of them, to be honest, are a bit of a projection in regards to what they're reading. Some readers do indeed project their own personal life into the reading, affecting therefore you and your manifestations. Now, is there any power to tarot cards? Of course there is power in tarot cards for various reasons, and I even made a different video about it, but I'm going to explain it over here, why predicting the future is a real thing and why tarot cards have meaning, and they do indeed have power. What it's powerful, it's not in the cards in and of itself, in the tool, but it's in the fact that vibration is an existing reality. We are made of vibration, and we constantly utilize energies coming from our bodies and from our mind to do anything in life. Therefore, according to this principle, every card that you are seeing is probably a byproduct of your vibration. Therefore, if you're having a very low, unhealthy relationship, most likely you are going to address a pick a card that talks about a very low, unhealthy relationship, and you indeed generally gonna resonate with that reading. But this only tells you where you're at. Which, to be honest, you do not need a general reading because of that. And the more you will think and give power to this reader or give power to the cards itself that indeed tell you how you feel, the more you are just going to propel that manifestation for yourself, because you're not actually going to a professional reader or a professional counselor, healer, even better, or you're not actually doing yoga and being consciously aware of how you feel so you can change it. You're giving power to that prediction, knowing this is indeed how I feel. Indeed, I resonate with this. Therefore, this is bound to happen. But you know what? Even quantum mechanics explains the phenomenon of entanglement. What is entanglement? Entanglement is when, according to your vibration, you can affect directly from a distance a certain results and even other people. And this is what is happening with pico cards. According to your vibration, you are affecting the cards, and vice versa, the psychics is affecting you through the reading of the cards. But are you actually resolving anything for your personal life? Most of the time, this doesn't happen, because if you're just remaining in that general reading and that general sensation that you're feeling, you're not learning tools to upgrade. You're not learning how to focus your mind somewhere else. Now, tarot cards and pico cards as well, they can be helpful to manifest positive things. For example, if a tarot reader tells you that you're going to win the lottery this month, why not believe in it? That can be a wonderful tool to manifest that into your reality. And this is tangible, this is real. You can work on your entanglement this way. But how the future and future prediction actually works, it's the fact that the majority of people, and please do not get offended because this is simply a fact, and it doesn't have to be you necessarily, but the majority of people, vibration, are predictable. The majority of people's future is predictable. Therefore, if you look into a general reading, most likely on planet, people will have horrible relationship and unhealthy relationship. I mean, you just have to look at the amount of divorces that are going on in the West, for example, or in the planet at large. It's predictable. Why? Because people's vibration come from the things that they think and from their intentions and beliefs. In majority of these intentions and beliefs are programmed by society, and they function according to the past. Therefore, a person that has attracted unhealthy relationship, narcissistic patterns, or whatever it is, most likely because it's still thinking about the hurts of the past and it's not thinking of the present moment and changing their vibration, most likely it's going to attract another healthy pattern. So in the minute that it's going to resonate with a general psychic who's saying, oh, I see that you are moving away from a relationship and it's been very unhealthy and you had a tower moment, well, I'm seeing also that potentially you're gonna get a divorce out of this relationship, or maybe that you are going to find your soulmate. This is how this psychic use this ability of tapping into a general vibration to do fishing, and therefore affecting your vibration as well. And it doesn't take an incredible psychic gift to say, oh, you have an unhealthy relationship. I mean, this is really generally broad. And I also see some of the psychic who do worldwide prediction, and instead of giving solutions so we collectively manifest it, like also another tarot reader that is my friend and that I saw and I really like, called Mary Jane, has said, they're actually manifesting in the collective energy that something bad is happening. And if a collective feeds on that energy, it's bound to happen. So I'm not even surprised that pico cards became mainstream. They're so general, and generally people are so predictable that it was bound to happen. It's like saying why the beauty community is so big at large. The beauty community is so big at large because women have been using makeup since ancient Egypt. So it's obviously gonna resonate with millions and millions of women and men. Therefore, How can you not become addicted to these tools, and how can you use this tool in a responsible way? First of all, like I said, talking about the audience, what I think is very important is that you gain your power back. Every time that you're receiving a reading, you have to have healthy skepticism. Therefore, saying, okay, is this really resonating with me, or is just simply plain general? And if it's simply plain general, well, what are the things that I can extract that can be good for me, and what are the things that I can toss away? And maybe when you are upgrading on your spiritual path, you're going to realize, maybe I do not need a general reading at all. I mean, I do not need people to guide me for every single steps of the way. I can train myself to manifest a soulmate. I can train myself to manifest a new job. I can train myself to feel better. And what is going to happen is that the majority of this reading will resonate lesser and lesser and lesser with you. Then you probably, if you're going to go to a very good professional psychic, you're going to have a tailor-made reading. And this is for the psychics. Usually professional psychics, which are even outside of YouTube, believe it or not, they are very specific, and they can really tap into your energies. And what a responsible psychic will do, will look at you, will analyze you, understand whether you are a weaker soul, you're more sensitive, you're more strong, and you will do a tailor-made reading for you. I'm going to give you a very simple example. Let's say you are a person that has a tendency to attract narcissistic patterns, or you have a tendency to attract very unhealthy relationship, and this is your 10th relationship on the row that it's really destructive. Or maybe you're dealing with a person that is cheating on you. What the psychic is going to do, a responsible psychic, is going to see your pattern, but it's also going to analyze that probably you are broken right now. So instead of advising you immediately, oh, you know, this person is cheating on you, let go. If you're weak and very sensitive, this could also cause to damage yourself even further. So it's gonna heal you, give you advice. It's gonna say, sweetheart, but what do you think? Don't you think that you deserve better? It's gonna talk to you. It's gonna counsel you. And this is what professional, responsible psychic do. What not a responsible psychic will do are two things. Either they will toss away and say, this person is cheating on you, you better get away from this person. And if you are weak and sensitive, this might be very destructive, and it might be very hard. I know some people are stronger and they're going to be like, thank God she told me. But we are not all the same, and a professional, responsible psychic will see the difference between you, person A, and person B, and will talk differently and give different advices. Even a spiritual teacher will do that, because every advice is personal, because every person is unique, special, and has a unique blueprint and vibration. Therefore, a not responsible psychic will treat everybody the same and will just say, but I'm good at prediction, like, I mean, I see it in the cards, and will not understand the phenomenon of entanglement. Meaning that even if you portray a reality, an existing vibration in the cards, and a possible outcome that is really predictable in the future, if you're not professional, you're not going to give advice to this person. You're just going to point blank, give what you see, and that's about it. But this is not going to help anybody. And this is not going to help anybody in the most general sense. Now, going back to the audience, as you can see, always having to rely on the cards or to someone else outside of yourself can be very dangerous, and not only can lead to addiction, but can lead to confusion. I spent 2 years seeing and hearing what astrology had to say about me and what tarot cards had to say about me, and instead of relying on my meditation and what I knew about myself, I literally gave my power away to other people and saying, but what do you see in the cards? But what are the stars are saying? And it arrived to a point where everything that I was doing needed to back off by some evidence from the cards or the astrology. Even though these are powerful tools, these were only tools made to guide people in specific times of life. Maybe a reading once every 6 months, an astrology reading maybe once a year, but not constantly. Because what happened, especially on my channel, and I always talk about my personal experiences so you guys can relate, what happened is that the more I was drifting away from this new age community, and the more I was drifting away from pick a cards and they just weren't resonating anymore. The pick a cards online were they just weren't resonating. They were only confusing me even more, and I couldn't find any specific for me and any advice than the private readings even. But the majority of people that I've been to, the ones on YouTube, because I have found also people outside of YouTube who've been really accurate. So I'm not being with everybody on YouTube, so I don't know. This is just my experience. And they were just confusing. They were projecting a lot of their personal issues. Like, they were like, let's say if a reader really wanted to be a musician, they would have told me that I should do music and I was an artist, when I already did that and I just couldn't resonate with that. When it came down to love, they told me that I would have married a musician because they wanted to do that. Or for example, if I found a reader that wanted to become a channeler or really wanted to do that, they will tell me that I was a channeler. And this only confused me, and it just became a mess in my head, to the point where none of this reading in 2 years that I've been on YouTube has ever resonated with me. I actually wrote down astrology reading, numerology reading, tarot reading of people. I recorded them to see whether or not in the future they were going to be accurate. None of the things that they have predicted to me has came true. And then all of a sudden, in this moment of pause that I took from YouTube, and I mean, this is not even me coming back, this is me sharing what I've learned, really. I scrolled the pages of all the notes that I have taken around these astrology readings, and I found out a note of me talking to myself and having a vision board. And all the things that I have wrote down in my diary and the conversation that I had with myself, all my plans, they actually came true. I had photos of India, and I've been there. I had photos of how I wanted my husband to look like, very similar to how my husband looks like. I wrote down that I wanted somebody intelligent, smart, spiritual, committed, loyal, exotic. That's all that I got. I wrote down how much money I wanted to have in my bank account, and that came true. I wrote down how my house had to look like, with few options, and that came true in those 2 years. And all of the conversation that I had with myself were so deep and so profound. And when I looked at the difference between having a reading and having those vision boards and talking with myself and figuring out things for myself, I realized, what the heck? What am I doing? I'm actually not lost. I'm actually not confused. This is the right way to go. Why am I making other people deciding for me? None of these things has ever resonated with me, and they were just wrong. Most of them were projecting, which is not calling anybody out. This has been my experience. Maybe this is your experience as well. And this is my suggestion. And the few odd readings that I had from very older psychics, one is in Sedona, the other one is in Florence, Italy, that I had, were absolutely accurate. And both of these two very talented readers, what they told me, not only deeply was specific, and they could never know this, that was this deeply specific for me, but they gave me advice on how to manifest. They gave me advice on how to move on with my life. And that was the only thing that I actually remember more than the prediction. Because in actuality, if you really think about it, what a psychic is just a vibrational reader, is a somebody that channels from spirit. And spirit will give you solution because you are the creator of your reality. This is just a simple fact. So I'm asking psychic out there to become responsible about what they do and to try to upgrade and develop their tool. And for the audience, I'm asking you guys to use these tools only for your benefit, but not to the point where you're actually isolating yourself, becoming dependent, and giving yourself away for these readings. And some people, they're like, oh, but why these people then are doing it if they know that it's unhealthy? Well, they're doing it because this is all they can do. Some of them, it's for money. Some others because they do not want to go back to the life that they used to live. You have to see the life that they're living. Is it really what they're saying? Is it really what they're portraying? What is the personal life? When they're giving you a prediction about their marriage or soulmate or things like that, what are their life that they're taking? Are their advices working for them? And are their advices working for you? This doesn't mean that necessarily you have to judge the messenger, but you really have to become honest about what you want and the content that you're feeding your brain with. Because your brain is like a sponge, and everything that you're feeding your brain with, you're gonna eventually manifest it even subconsciously. Then another thing that I have noticed about pico cards and this instant gratification that they give in this general sense, I was shocked when I removed my channel and when I decided to move away from pico cards and I decided to just say what I think about certain community. I was shocked at the reaction of people. Now, regardless of hating on me or things like that, because it doesn't really matter, they don't even know me. But I was shocked because the same people that I've helped, even for free, on direct messages on Instagram or on other platforms, the same people that were feeding on my readings, literally, they came running to the next reader and talking bad things about me. And do you know what I saw this behavior in my life? Through drug addicts. Drug addicts are like this. And this is not a judgment on you. If you feel addicted to pico cards, please comment down below. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking other psychics. I want to share my story and I want to add values in people's life. And this is what I've learned. That's all. This is not a judgment. But I have noticed these patterns of behavior in drug addiction. Why? Social isolation for the most part, and especially a very unhealthy relationship with the drug dealer, where the drug dealer becomes almost like an idol for the addicts. Believe it or not, they always have a constant relationship. And what the drug dealers does, they gives the doses for free for a while, and then it asks for more privately, and it almost exploits the addicts. But when the drug dealer, let's say for an instance, stops having that drug, or maybe goes to rehab and rehabilitates himself, these people turn nasty and they backstab anyone that doesn't give the doses anymore. And I promise you guys, I've been in very heavy situations in my life. I did see this behavior in drug addicts, alcoholic drug addicts, and addicts in general. Even food addicts are like this. And they will go against anyone who doesn't give the doses of addiction. And like Yogananda used to say, humans have a tendency to develop bad habits. And how do we really develop bad habits? Well, with a very pure intention. You know, we like something and we do it one day, then we're like, oh, I want that piece of chocolate cake. Let me just have it another day. I know this is so bad. I suffer from diabetes, but let me just get it on another bite and another bite and another bite. Now, tomorrow I will be better. Tomorrow I stop smoking. Tomorrow I will manifest my thing, but let me see what the future has to give me. And tomorrow never comes because the now never comes. And this is a pattern of addiction. And when you have this bad habit and it becomes, first is conscious, then it becomes unconscious, it's very hard to rehabilitate yourself in a way or another, because we are humans, are creatures of habits. So you don't even notice that you're doing a certain things. Now, obviously, the drug addiction comparison, it's a bit heavy because drug addiction gives also physical symptoms, the social symptoms, financial symptoms. So take it with a pinch of salt, but the patterns of behaviors is very similar for any addiction, even game addiction, internet addiction, social media addiction. It comes down to isolating yourself, spending tons and tons of times on whatever it is that you're doing, and not having conscious awareness of the fact that you can stop. And when you think that you can stop, you realize that you cannot anymore, and it has become a subconscious programming. So what do you do to resolve this? Yogananda used to say, in order to resolve a bad patterns or a bad habits of behavior, you need conscious awareness. So once you are aware of the problem, once you know you want to take your power back, you need to shift with a different habit. Yes, you're not going to do it by saying, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And what about it? What do you do with your time? What are you going to do instead? Well, you create a new good habit, which could be, instead of watching, maybe I'm going to watch one pico card like in a week, And then I'm going to read a book. Every time I'm going to feel the urge to know about my future, I'm going to learn how to do tarot cards on myself. Well, that could lead also to another addiction, but that could be a start for some people. Or maybe every time that I feel the urge to know about my future and having to know a reading or anything along those lines, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes. Maybe instead of having to know predictions, I'm going to learn how to manifest. I'm going to write a vision board. I am going to focus on what is my purpose. I'm going to spend all of these hours to actually do the things that I really want to manifest. If it's for love, I know there is the coronavirus, but I'm going to try and find and look for love. I'm going to try and be selective when I'm choosing a partner. When it comes down to a job, I'm going to apply to all the jobs that I love. I'm going to upgrade my skills. I'm going to practice my art. And then obviously, I'm going to have patience and consistency, and I'm going to develop a good habit. And it takes a while. It really takes a while, like it took a while for you to become addicted. So this video is not to call out anybody. It's not to say anything bad to anyone. It's just to say, hey, how do you feel about these tarot cards? Comment down below. Have you ever feel addicted? Have you ever feel that either they weren't resonating anymore or they were making you feel powerless or drained? There is a solution. And this is how I want my channel to be. I want my channel to be a solution because I felt lost for 2 years because of these tools and because of the general readings that I was receiving. I want to find a way to give accurate, energetic readings, because if it has to be general, let's do a collective readings instead. And so every one of you can take something out of it and cherish it in their own personal, unique way. I want to give you solutions, video where I teach you and explain you things, not because I'm a teacher, but because I can share what I've learned, because I don't have to be frustrated about and calling people out in our community when I simply don't resonate with it anymore. I think this is a time for upgrade. I think it's a time for be better and to use these tools responsibly. And if you are a psychic, you can also upgrade as well. And you can do this more responsibly, more professionally, and truly for adding values in people's life. And this is where I want to stand. Tarot cards are powerful. I made an entire videos about it. You can watch it there on my channel, but they have to be used in a certain way. And please share your stories in the comment section down below. I hope I didn't lose too much my train of thoughts. I don't like to script my videos or things like that. But share your experience down below. Let me know what do you think. And know that instead of prediction, there isn't enough time for knowledge. There isn't enough time for creating your future. And the only thing that truly matters is the now. Because when you're consciously aware of the now, you can become anything that you want. And you don't need anybody to give you a prediction because you will become the oracle yourself. All right, I hope you guys appreciated this video. I'm here for more and see you on the next one. Also check my husband's channel, who is a master yogi, a yoga teacher, or whatever you want to call it. And he does so many videos about spirituality, more in depth. And I really enjoy his video myself. So please check it. I'm going to leave the link down below. The link is down below for you to check it out. He has recently done a video about karma and more are yet to come. So I highly suggest you guys to check it. My e-courses are down below in regards to manifestations or to learn tarot yourself. Please guys, be safe and be the power and the creator that you are. And keep in mind, you're never ever wrong if you follow love. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Bye.